Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of We Hope This Finds You Well with Rob, Chuck, and Jimmy. And tonight we have a very special guest with us, an old friend and great guy all around, Brandon Allison, aka BA. What's up, BA? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Thanks for that great intro, Chuck.
All around great guy.
Father of the year, greatest TIE fighter to come out of Riverview High School.
Yeah, you know.
Certified badass.
Certified badass.
I'll take it. I've been called a lot worse than that.
So, BA, did you go? How long have we all known BA? Let's do that. Did you go to Lutheran Redeemer? I feel like you did.
No, I did not go to Lutheran Redeemer. I went to, I don't even know where the hell I went to preschool, actually. But and then 10th Street Elementary.
So we probably met somewhere around kindergarten.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kindergarten, maybe first grade.
First grade.
Kindergarten was kind of split up.
Yeah.
I believe I met you in 4th and or 5th grade. Did you have Heckman?
I can't remember. It was too long ago.
I can't remember.
I
can't remember either.
I had a bruisey in 4th grade.
There's been a few podcasts where Jimmy and Chuck have talked about things that happened, like, oh, remember, like, in preschool when we had the red blocks? Oh, yeah, the fucking red blocks, dude. What fucking happened yesterday, legitimately? If I didn't see your faces, I'd be like, Jimmy, leprechaun-y, shortish. So, no big deal.
Sorry, man.
So,
you have a fantastic memory.
Let me interrupt. Let me tell everybody that BA is a home brewer. He is co-operator. How do you guys define yourself? Co-operator, is that good?
Sure, co-brewers, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Co-operator of Allegheny River Brewery, and we're going to be sampling some of his beers tonight, which I'm very excited for. So which one, we have 3 choices. Which one did you want us to start with, BA?
So we're going to start with the Saison, it's the one with the gold cap that I gave to you guys. Dropped off at Chuck's house earlier.
All right,
I already cracked mine. I already did. I'm sipping it right now, and I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't even kiss ass, but I like this beer. And ask anybody. I am like I wouldn't even say snob because I just don't like a lot of beers, but I do like this beer. This is an everyman's beer.
It is. It's a good drinker.
Yeah. It really it goes down smooth, not too rough. And I'm surprised this has 8% alcohol.
Yeah, dude, this is a killer. This one will sneak up on you.
I like it.
I'm pouring mine into my mug right now because we were given firm and stern directions not to drink it out of the bottle.
This is a bottle drinking beer, that's for sure.
No, dude, it's like a fine wine. You gotta let that shit breathe.
You do. You do.
And for the other people who don't know, I'm in Texas, so tonight I'm dining and drinking upon a nice Sprite with ginger. Because, I'm not in Pennsylvania, but I'm going to sit here and laugh at my friends try to describe beer because neither of them are big beer drinkers. And we have a professional beer drinker on the podcast, so this is going to be good for both me and him.
All right, I'm going to take a sip of this. How do you pronounce it? Saison?
This is a Saison, yes.
It's Saison.
French.
That's what I
keep thinking.
That's what
I
always think of. I do too. Every time I say it, I'm like Saison.
I follow you guys on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, Allegheny River Brewery, and I love every time I see like the tag or anything at like any event that you guys do. My brain doesn't read it correctly. I just see Saison. That's it.
I know. It's all I can see too. And we brewed this beer 1,000,000 times.
All right, I'm going to try to describe it.
Do it, Chuck.
First of all, I would start with delicious.
It is. It's a good beer.
I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's like
don't rush it.
If I was gonna give it a scent, I would say musky.
Oh, I like a good musk.
Is that a bad beer word?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want my beer described as musky, but all right.
I'm not saying
Whatever.
it as a bad
Hey.
thing.
Oh, I love this. This is awesome. Keep going, Chuck. Keep going. Don't listen to.
It's like it's almost like I don't know beer descriptors, but is creamy one?
Sure.
Sounds like a positive one.
Better than fucking musky.
Creamy is actually definitely a descriptor for beer.
This beer tastes like my grandpa's basement.
Anyways, BA, it's very delicious. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really is. It is good beer.
So this beer.
Tell us about this one.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell you about it. Thanks, Rob. This one,
Wait, is
we've
he
been
taking
brewing
our
this
show
one.
over? That's fine. You can.
I sure hope so.
Please.
We've been brewing this
we
one
went way off track with Musky.
We've been brewing this one probably since we started brewing, which was 6 years ago. Like you said, 8%, so it'll sneak up on you. It doesn't drink like 8%, but it's a Belgian beer. It's got
I fucking like it.
It's got a fruity characteristic.
Uh-huh.
Is it kind of like a Hoegaarden kind of thing?
So Hoegaarden's a Belgian one too, but it's a different style than that. Hoegaarden's considered like a wheat beer.
Yeah.
This one has a dry finish, almost like a champagne or like a Chardonnay kind of finish.
I'd be down with that shit.
Yeah. Champagne. That's
There
good.
you go.
I can taste it now.
This description. Your description is way better than ours.
This is what I do, guys.
It's not as funny, but it would probably be more proper for him to tell us what it tastes like, what he's looking for, and then you go, this is
No.
yes.
I think
that's
we
not
should.
legit.
I think we should do it first, and then let him tell us.
Absolutely. Let's proceed.
Yeah, otherwise Musky never would have came out of Chuck's mouth.
Exactly.
That's going to get us so many more guests that want to bring us things to try.
So, how long have you guys actually been a company?
Oh, so we've been, like I said, 6-7 years. I think we've been brewing, and we've built it up year by year, just keep making it better and shit. And I don't know, we've just been trying to make the recipes better. And I'm also a certified beer judge, which took me a long ass time, but I studied for that, and that's why I can use the descriptors.
Oh, so you know all the descriptors.
I do.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And all the styles.
That's great.
You did describe my perfect beer though. I love that dry finish on anything. I love really dry wines, really really dry champagne. So next time I'm in Pittsburgh, I'm knocking on your door for sure.
Yeah, this one would be up your alley, dude.
Yeah, it's up my alley, and I'm pretty narrow-minded when it comes to beers.
So any festival we do, we always make this one because people always enjoy it. Whether it's dudes or females, they always like this one.
It's a fucking crowd pleaser. That's what it is.
Yeah,
crowd pleaser.
That's why we make it.
Do you guys have a name for this one?
So we've had a few different names for this one, but we're calling it right now the. Just should have entered the Saison because we were on the show Beerland, which was
yes, you were.
Which was on Viceland. We won for Pittsburgh. We went and did the finale in L.A. They flew us out there, but we entered a different beer. But the host who tasted the Saison, said to us, "You should have entered the Saison." So we're calling it that now.
That's
That's
awesome.
good. Very clever. Very clever.
I actually stumbled upon that episode.
Yeah.
And I was flipping the fuck out in my living room, telling my wife, these are my friends from high school, check this shit out. She's just cool. That's really impressive. And then you could see your situation, all the mechanical shit that all four of you guys. Is it 4 or 3?
It's 3. It's me, John, and Paul.
Okay, I didn't know if Andrew was involved with it also.
No, dude, he lives in Cali, dude.
Oh, really? Okay. but like seeing how like scientific you guys have it, like how broken down and like literally looks like something that would be in like a Westinghouse building or some shit, and or a factory for anybody that doesn't live in Pittsburgh. Like how long did it take to actually evolve into that?
So
I know it helps having a couple friends that are engineers. I'm sure that helps a little bit, but
right. John and Paul are the engineers, so they like basically designed the system. It's all like automated. We can work it from a laptop. We can say like, oh, we want this tank to be this temperature for this long and all that stuff. And they're in charge of that stuff, and I do all the recipes and the brewing.
You're the artist.
I'm the artist. I'm the brewmaster.
Yeah.
The co-operator, please.
Correct.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah. On that television show, man, it was really like the stark difference between the way that you guys do it and the way that everyone else does it. It was basically
way different.
A big like 40-gallon pot with a fucking wooden spoon and like grandpa's thermometer and shit. And then they show like, was that your backyard or whoever's house that was at?
Yeah,
and
that was in my house.
Big chunk of machinery out, like, oh, this is how we do it.
Like, these dudes don't fuck around.
Yeah.
No. Ours is essentially like a professional brewery, just at a much smaller scale.
That's what they said on the show, and you can totally see that.
Yeah.
That's really fucking cool. So,
man,
where do you get your recipes? I know.
Thanks,
so
man.
Cool. So where do you get your recipes? You just come up with them, or do you look them up online? Or I'm sure it's a lot of trial and error.
It is, and at this point, I just come up with them on my own. I know enough about the grains, the hops, and all that, and the flavors you get from them. So I create all the recipes, and I have a good baseline recipe for all the styles, and I'll just make little tweaks here and there to change them how I want them to be.
Don't you grow some of your own hops as well?
I do, but I'm not able to grow enough that we can use it more than one batch of my homegrown hops per year.
Just not enough hops you can produce?
No, it's way easier to just order them online and do it that way.
Makes sense. Do you guys ever think about taking it to like the next level?
Or what would be?
We thought it. Go ahead, Rob.
What would be the next level?
The next level would be like opening our own brewery and tap room. But yeah, we thought about it. But in the end, it's just fun to do it when we want, hang out, drink while we brew, and just make it a fun hobby.
Keep it a hobby.
Yeah. That would be so much work on top of everything else you guys got going on in life.
For sure.
And it's stress, and it changes the whole thing. I mean, it's not fun anymore. Now it's work.
Exactly.
And there's never...
You're exactly right.
I mean, there's never a guarantee, no matter how good your beer is, that you're going to have a successful business.
For sure.
Sorry for the negativity.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean,
you're exactly
a wrestling coach, aren't you?
I haven't coached in like 2.5 years now, actually.
But you teach though, right?
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Before the Rona.
Yes, before the Rona, I was a teacher.
You would definitely have to cut that out if you guys were going to do the old next step. That would be a little bit crazy to do.
Yeah, that next step's not happening. I'm fine with doing it as a hobby and keeping it fun.
So, funny story about your wrestling BA. My daughter plays basketball, and we were down at the high school, and you know her coach, Hunter.
Yes.
So we were standing there waiting for the game to start or whatever. We were in front of the, the records, Riverview High School all-time records, and he points up. He said, "Hey, I know that guy. I drink beer with him. He always talks about his 3-second pin." So my question is, like, a 3-second pin. The pin itself is 3 seconds, right? So that means it's been
done before.
This guy's down on the mat as soon as it's go time.
Now, you're right, but you're giving me a little too much credit. I think it was like 8 or 9 seconds, to be honest.
It says 3 on the scoreboard. on the record.
If it isn't on the records, that's what it was.
It says 3.
I won't argue it.
I think it's 3 seconds.
That's in the whippy old books, man.
Never be anybody better.
Who was it against?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Can't be Lower Pearl. Those beasts don't go down in 8 seconds.
No, dude. Lower Burl. I don't know if I ever got a win against a Lower Burl kid.
Fucking something in the water, man. I swear to God.
They're state champs all around.
Oh, it's so rough.
Mexican supplements from the day they're born.
Dude, them in fucking Kiski, the worst.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, I want to talk a little bit about one of the best summers of my life. That was the summer of 2001, where you and Rob and myself were janitors for a summer job at 10th Street Elementary School.
We were masters of the custodial art.
Yes, we were. We were custodial artists.
For sure.
Right. And we had some really fantastic mentors, did we not?
Oh my God. I learned so much from those dudes.
So we've talked about this before on the podcast, but since you're here, let's bring it back up again. We the three of us actually worked in the summertime up at our elementary school that the three of us went to, 10th Street Elementary in Oakmont, Pennsylvania, and we get to hang out with the janitors. And there would be like maybe 6 high school and high school kids that would come back up and work. And
there was 4 of us there.
Gum off the desks and clean lockers and whatever.
Blow up light bulbs in the dumpster.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Light bulbs that definitely would cause us gangrene.
That was a highlight.
But that was one of the best summers for sure. I love that shit. You would think going back to the school that you went to as a little kid to work would be fucking hell, but
it was amazing. Definitely one of the best, if not the best jobs I've ever had. Not only was it a ton of fun, but Rob, that kind of rekindled our friendship that summer.
For sure.
Because, we were friends for so long, and then, I was a good boy, and you were doing other stuff, and, we took a couple years off, kind of.
Me and Jimmy got tighter during those years.
I like to party.
Hi, I'm Rod. I like to party. But anyways, yeah, that was when me and Rob kind of got back together, and then we all had so much fun, and that was the summer of my musical awakening. You guys introduced me to so much music that summer. I'm talking Saves the Day, Dashboard, and all kinds of stuff. It was so much fun. It was amazing.
Charlie, do you still have the Ode to the Janitors?
I do. I have it in my. I still have that same big CD book with BA's handwriting on it. Do you remember that, BA?
I remember that. So, from my perspective, that was for. Also, I love that job. We had so much fun doing that, and we would just listen to awesome music every day. It was like there were the older kids grouped together, and they would put us in groups to clean rooms, and it was me, Chuck, Rob, and then Bill Yuxtis.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
Dude, we would just listen to awesome music and clean rooms and just screw around and do dumb stuff. And it was awesome. It was the best job ever.
Wait, who was all there for the Ass Why? Rob, I know you know the Ass Why.
Dude,
for sure.
I remember that with the Weezer.
Let's bring that up. So that's Hash Pipe, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So Hash Pipe had recently come out.
I was just telling you guys the lyrics. That's all.
Charlie typically, out of the two of us, he's typically the one who's better at lyrics than I am. He always kind of nails that shit. And there's the 4 of us, like we just mentioned, cleaning. I believe if you would come in the front door, go to the right of 10th Street Elementary. I believe we were in the first classroom there. I don't remember. I think it was Miss Selwood's classroom. But we were in there, and Charlie decided to launch himself on his back, spread his legs eagle, grab himself by his inner thigh, and tell us that the lyrics were, "I got my ass why," and that's what an ass why was. He didn't decide to break it down and tell us why it was that. It was just that's what the fuck it was. It was an ass why. You didn't know what an ass why is?
No, you guys said what's an ass why, so I got on the floor and showed you what an ass why was.
I can totally see
That's your memory. Mine says a different way, and I like my way better.
Oh, that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was.
So what grade was that? Were we in 10th grade?
I believe so.
That was the summer between 10th and our junior year.
Yeah. That was definitely like. Do you guys remember whenever the movie Orgasmo came out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I know Jimmy does for sure. We watched that shit like crazy.
Charlie did like queer nothing, but I think unicorns are kick-ass.
I don't sound like queer nothing, but I think Rush is a kick-ass man. But we got obsessed with the band DVDA. That at the time, I believe it was Napster that we were borrowing music from.
Oh yeah.
DVDA double. What was it? Double vaginal, double anal.
That's right. Double vaginal, double anal.
Yeah, guys from South Park.
I forgot about that.
Silly ass songs that kind of had the voice of like Creed almost. And if you have a chance, just Google search. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You should go on Google and just type in DVDA and then instantly just hit videos. Just trust me on it. You'll enjoy it.
That's dangerous.
Don't do that. I'm wrong. But look up the band. It was really funny shit.
Okay, the one that was, I know the one, we had two of those songs on the Ode to the Janitors compilation.
Those were the only two that mattered, let's be honest.
Now You're a Man. And
yes.
What was the other one?
The one about genital warts or something.
Yep.
You don't, something about
topical cream.
Cream on it every day.
Oh, yeah.
Shit like that.
You're right, Rob.
These warts on your dick aren't going to go away unless, dude, I swear
unless
to God.
You start using topical cream every day.
Topical cream every day. What the fuck was that song?
That's just sound medical advice.
Absolutely.
Jimmy knows. He's had a growth or two.
I mean, come on. It goes away.
It's college, right? Jimmy just stayed in college for 12 years.
Yeah, they're called doctors.
All right. So while we're on the subject of music, why don't you guys start talking about NOFX? Because
hold on.
No.
Before we get into that, let's get into BA's top 10 favorite shows.
All right.
So
10. That's a lot.
Or 5, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's.
Wait. Hold up. I'm ready to start my next beer. I'm ready to start my next beer. What's next, BA?
Yeah, I'll join you.
Oh, good call.
I'm already on the second beer, guys. So. The next one, we're gonna do the Northeast IPA, which is the American flag cap.
American flag?
Yeah, it's got the American flag cap on it.
Goddamn right it does.
The Lap Hog.
Called Lap Hog.
Are those toe tags on there?
Yeah, they are.
That was a recycled Coke. I already said that to Charlie.
Oh my god, it smells so good. I can smell like the citrus.
Charlie,
already.
what are you smelling? What are you smelling? Citrus? Are you getting notes of citrus?
I am getting notes of citrus. Is that correct?
That's very correct, Chuck.
See, I'm not like I said musky once. I'm not all stupid.
I think that was just this fucking beard.
All right, drop the fucking cap. Oh well.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Step on it at some point.
Sir.
Tell me, BA, the name Lap Hog. How'd you guys come up with that?
All right, so myself and John are big fans of the show Workaholics that was on Comedy Central.
I'm fully torqued.
So, huge fans. Literally, probably, we have at least 6 beers named after quotes from Workaholics.
That's fantastic. Don't you have one that's fully torqued?
Yeah, fully torqued is one.
I love that show.
Oh, I love.
Oh my god, that's so good. Here's my descriptor.
Right.
Here's my descriptor. It's so fucking
Go
good.
for it, Charlie.
I am a big fan of IPAs. This one is really good. If you're not an IPA person, I know a lot of people don't like IPAs because of the hoppiness and bitterness. This is very low on the bitterness and hoppiness.
Uh-oh.
I agree. And I'm generally not an IPA guy, and I could drink this.
As I said before, strong hints of citrus, so it tastes really good. And it's cloudy or hazy, as we like to say in the beer industry.
That is the style that's the style of any IPA is the haziness. So that's exactly what we wanted with that one.
So I did a lot better on that one.
You did good.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a Seosin guy. I'm an IPA guy.
I like it.
All right. So
Like about IPA, citrusy, kind of grapefruity, like beginning of an IPA. I always like that, but I hate the finish.
this is a very smooth finish compared to others.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Do you need to describe this beer at all, BA, or did I do good enough?
You did pretty good, buddy. But any IPA style is hazy and citrusy, grapefruity, like Rob said. Rob knows that shit. And then a smooth finish, like a West Coast IPA, which is like a classic one, is usually more bitter. This one is a little less bitter at the end. Very nice. Rob, you don't even have the beer in front of you, but you're getting it right, buddy.
I'm salivating fucking thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Right there, buddy.
Look how hazy that is.
Looks beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, so let's roll in then, since we did our second beer review. Okay.
Hold on, Chuck. BA, do you remember the man, the myth, the legend, Sully?
Oh, of course. He is top janitor in my books.
Yeah, for sure. In the Hall of Fame, absolutely.
So he used to have.
About Sully.
Do you remember down in the boiler room when we would go down for lunch? He had like 2 rules, and I forget what the one was, but the other one was don't sit in my chair, and he would point his finger at you.
Well,
he would have that
2 fingers.
Yeah, and
this was his point. Always the.
The double finger.
Yeah, the middle finger was crossed on top of the pointer finger. And it kind of curled too. And his nails, he had those old like 70s rocker cocaine nails that were all yellow.
Couldn't make it any creepier, by the way.
Well, it's exactly what it was. We were in a boiler room in the bottom of the school.
It was kind of awkward at first, but like once you got used to it and got to know those guys, it was so awesome.
Oh, they were.
But for sure, potential murderers. Though.
And you would,
for sure,
you would sit down there. Like we would start work at, I think 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, we started early.
We started at 6, and we would sit in the room until at least 6:30, if not longer, until one of them decided to move.
His coffee, remember?
Rocket fuel.
Coffee, he would call it rocket fuel. And he was like, it's not good unless you can stir it and let the spoon go and it doesn't stay in the middle.
Oh, you guys are bringing me back.
Now, listen, my brain works so weird. Like I remember nothing important, but totally trivial things that happened when I was like random ass little kid. I remember really well.
Hey, BA, do you remember you made up a song about
Larry Bunny,
about Larry,
Sully and Cat Ear,
Larry and Cat Ear, sung to the tune of Miss America or whatever.
Aren't they beautiful? Aren't they lovely?
Oh yeah.
Aren't they both wonderful? Larry and Cat Ear.
Cat Ear was another awesome guy who worked at our school who had one fucky ear. So he looked like that random ass stray cat who had ear. Nice ass guy, super fucking nice, but had a weird ass ear. So he got brought. Remember Larry Bunny? He would always have that feather duster.
Feather duster. Yep.
I feel like Sully was like the nice old guy in Home Alone. Like he's super creepy, but he's got a good heart.
That is spot on. Yeah. And he was like He was like a bona fide genius, also.
I don't know about that. How do you go be a genius?
No, seriously. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever met.
Really?
Man, yeah, for sure. He actually was my neighbor when I lived on 6th Street in Oakmont for a little while, and his house was like packed from one end to the other with books. It's all the dude did was read. But, and clean floors and shit.
That's an interesting life.
Yeah. He's an interesting fucking guy. Looked like he would too many acid trips for sure in the fucking 60s.
You remember he used to like chase us through the school after school?
Yes. Solly searching.
Yes.
Solly searching. For some reason,
we all know
it.
Hilarious. We did.
Poor bastard.
Solly Search 96.
Yeah, I remember that, dude.
Bring it back.
A brief description of how Solly searching worked.
So we would, after school ended, we would stay and like hang out in the playground, which was cool. But we would go in the door. They left the one back door open, so you could go like the bathrooms and stuff.
Right.
But there was a gate that they would close, so no one could go like deep into the school. But there was a big like hole cut out a part of the gate. So we would crawl in
from
there.
1895.
Oh, we would crawl in there, and our goal was to find Solly in the school. Solly search.
Hear his keys.
Yeah, exactly. You would hear those keys.
It's like, fuck, he's gating on us. Time to go.
So we would like say we wanted to find him, but then when we heard those keys, we were scared as shit, and we would run out of there.
Exactly. And then probably go back to playing Foursquare or football.
Yeah, that was awesome though.
Fuck yeah, dude. What I would do to play some fucking Foursquare right now.
I know.
Foursquare was great.
It was like that's a pretty safe game to play in your 30s without pulling muscles and shit. You know?
Yeah.
Unless you're PA and you can like do, like one arm handstands and fucking walk on your fingertips and shit.
Yeah, I'm a gym teacher. I do what I can.
Gotta stay in shape. I see you jogging around town all the time.
Yeah, 2 days a week I jog.
I must see you every time then.
You must.
All right. Rob, you got anything else you want to say about janitoring, or are we ready to move on?
One last thing I remember from our childhood. BA. I remember going to see the original Robin Hood with fucking Kevin Costner with you in the theaters.
Wow.
Really?
How's that for memory?
What year was that? That was probably 94, 95, I would think.
Dude, I think that was like 92.
There was a hit song off of that, was it?
Bryan Adams, dude.
It was for sure Bryan Adams. What song was it though?
It
was for sure Bryan Adams.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's
one of those terrible songs.
Yeah.
Wait.
Damn, why did we pick that movie?
I don't remember. I don't remember why we did.
Wait. Hold on, Rob. Bryan Adams writes amazing songs. So take that back. Take it back.
I refuse.
Kind of does.
He's pretty fucking good.
He has one or two hits.
Yeah, dude. I'm all good. But anyway, continue.
Whatever. Let's get into BA's top 10 favorite or 5-10.
Yeah, whatever.
Concerts.
As you know, BA, we love and enjoy discussing music and all things music here. So
as do I.
So and you're an old school punk rocker emo kid just like us. So let's hear it. Top 10, top 5. What do you got?
All right. So this is actually the first show I ever went to at Laga, and it was fucking killer. And I actually looked it up to make sure I was right because I thought it was too killer. This was in 2000. Back then, I had to get dropped off by the parents, but
of course, I've been dropped off at Laga for sure.
Yep,
no shame.
I think we all have, yeah.
And Laga was a fucking. I mean, that was like a fire trap, dude. You had to go up like eight flights of stairs.
Yeah, it was on the 3rd floor of a very crowded city building down in Oakland. Definitely a fire trap.
Steps.
So anyway, this was the first show I went to, but it was killer. The headliner was Face to Face, And the supporting bands, I wasn't even a fan of Face to Face at the time, but the supporting bands I went to see, Alkaline Trio.
Wow.
Newfound Glory.
Jesus.
And Saves the Day, all in one show.
Wow.
That shit. Oh,
that was the first show I went to.
What year was that? Because I think you got into it a little bit before I did.
That's 2000.
Yeah. That was 2000, like September 2000. I looked it up.
Okay.
And I actually went with Bill Bauman. And I remember he bought an Alkaline Trio shirt with like kids that had like blood coming out of their eyes, and he wore it to school the next day. And I remember the Spanish teacher, Miss Holot, was like, "What are those kids doing on your shirt?" And he goes, "Bleeding." I thought that was so hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I made it to a show at Laga until probably 2001.
Yeah, dude, that was an insane show. But Chuck, I'm like you, man. Saves the Day was huge when I was younger. I love that band with all my heart.
I remember you had the sweatshirt for sure.
Yeah,
I remember
dude.
that blue sweatshirt.
I loved them. So a lot of them were in my tops, but I saw Midtown with Taking Back Sunday. That was a top one.
Yeah, so good.
Where was that at?
That was at Laga. Yeah, it was at Laga. Midtown was insanely good.
They're
I
so
love
good.
Midtown.
Yeah,
They are.
I saw them at some point at American Music Cafe. Jimmy, I believe you were with me or something of that nature, but it was at American Music Cafe. I got to see Midtown. It was really cool.
Yeah, I saw Midtown at Laga. I don't know if it's the same show that you're referring to, BA, but it was awesome. And I remember like they were really good live, and like
They were awesome.
Gabe, who was one of the singers, and he played the bass. He like leaned into the crowd, and like I grabbed his hand, and it was just like this.
Yeah,
it was this moment, and it was so awesome. Like they put on a great live show.
Charlie immediately got fully torqued.
Well,
yes.
I would put Midtown on my top 10 for sure. They put on such a solid show.
Well,
every time.
Gabe is the one who went on to be in what are they called?
Cobra
Starship.
Cobra Starship.
Yes.
Which was it? Census Fail.
None of them. I don't think.
Maybe.
One
maybe
of the
because
players,
Census Fail is on Drive-Thru, or they were on Drive-Thru back in the day, so that could be very possible.
It makes
one
sense.
of them is definitely in Census Fail. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but it sounds very likely.
Really did. Gabe did Cobra Starship, and it was like really poppy. I never really got into it too much.
I can't, dude. When artists do that big of a switch from where they were, I'm sorry. Like I like.
I didn't even
music.
really like the third.
shit.
Midtown has 3 full-length LPs. I didn't even like the third one. Like I go back every now and
It
then
had a
and
couple
try to
of
listen to it, and it's okay. But it never really stuck with me. The first 2 are great though.
Oh yeah, I love Midtown, man, and I'm a big follower of them, and I remember reading like when Gabe went and did that Cobra Starship, he said he quit Midtown because he was feeling like always negative with the songs he would write, and he wanted to do something positive. But shit, I like Midtown. I didn't like Cobra Starship, so bring him back.
Bring them back. So what else you got
there on the list?
All right, so I have I saw Brand New with Taking Back Sunday.
Oh my god, yeah.
And we're talking Brand New like Your Favorite Weapon, when that was like just came out, like that was insane. They were so good, Brand New live back in the day before they were like really slow. Like they just hit so hard. That was a top one for me.
Does that happen to be the show where I think the guitar player Vinny was hanging from the rafters?
Most likely, because I don't know if they played that many shows there.
They played, I want to say they played at least 2, maybe 3.
Right.
But yeah, definitely at least 2 they played there. And the one was with Taking Back Sunday, which was so weird for us at the time because, as we all know, Taking Back Sunday and Brand New had this
Yes.
Beef.
They had beef.
They had beef. Like, if you listen to both of their debut albums, they got these lyrics that are fighting back and forth, and it's kind of cool
For sure.
if you're in the know.
It's so East Coast, West Coast rap. I love it.
Yeah, it was a solid attempt.
All right.
Go ahead, B.
I'm gonna try and pick the top ones here. This one might surprise you. Okay, fucking Good Charlotte.
Ouch.
Okay, now Chuck, I remember you and I used to like Good Charlotte.
Absolutely, I can't
They
deny
had a couple good songs.
I can't deny it.
But they played. They played with Newfound Glory and Phoenix TX.
I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think I went to that show, BA. I don't remember, but I got big into Good Charlotte. Benji was the first reason I ever dyed my hair. But I did go back and re-listen to that first album recently, and it did not hold up for me.
Yeah,
it's sad to say.
Fire.
No, but it holds
terrible.
It holds a solid place in my heart. I can't deny that.
Yeah, dude, that's like 2002, 2003. It's kind of get into
No,
it.
this was like 2000.
Yeah, that was early.
That was before I got into any of this other stuff, for sure.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that you're stupid, but, it was fucking terrible. And I told you then that it was fucking terrible, and you didn't believe me. Now look at you at 34, riding in your car, sitting there like, I don't ever wanna be, no! You're 35. You can't listen to that kind of music.
What are you even saying? It's the little things,
right.
Rob. It's the little things.
I'm gonna
You've been
move
telling
on.
your wife that for years.
This was a more recent one. This was like 1 or 2 years ago. So, Juliana Theory.
Interesting.
Haven't heard from them for years, and I'm an old time fan. So they said they were going to do a reunion show at the Rex Theater. Okay, so my wife's a big fan too. So we buy tickets. They end up canceling it, and they were like they sold it out, by the way. So we were like, damn. So we get word that there's going to be like a surprise pop-up show possibly from them. Okay, they're going by the name of I have it written down here. They were going by the name of Paper Fist. Okay, so Paper Fist schedules a show at Mr. Small's Funhouse, which is not Mr. Small's. It's like the top part that holds
smaller.
way fewer, very small. So my wife was like, I think this is them. We're buying tickets. So it was them. It started at the show started at like 10 o'clock at night. Dude, there were like 75 people there, and Juliana Theory played, and it was so sick. It was just an awesome memory, and I just was singing every song to it.
How did you guys decipher that they were selling tickets under Paper Fist?
I think they were dropping some hints, and I was at work, and my wife was like following it, and she's like, I have a feeling this is them, so we're just gonna buy tickets. And the tickets were like super cheap.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the Funhouse once. Punchline played a show. This was a few years ago, but they played a show, and then they were doing an after show up in the Funhouse. And when you went up to the Funhouse, they played the Rewind EP in its entirety with Paul. Paul.
I love that shit.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
With Paul.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking amazing.
That was a good night.
Yeah. Yes.
I got a funny story about Punchline and Mr. Smalls. Can I tell it real quick?
Please.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
So this is like on a holiday weekend, July 4th, probably like 2008, 2009. Mr. Smalls is playing, or they're playing at Mr. Smalls Punchline. Paul's still in the band, or he's playing with somebody. I'm pretty sure it's Punchline. We roll up there. It's me, EJ, Andy Glessner, and Derek.
Nice.
And everybody's hammered drunk.
Oh, gosh.
The show, their set ends. Andy Glessner tries to go backstage. Well, security's like, dude, who the fuck are you? You know? And Andy's like, well, what's up? You want to step outside and talk about it? And I was like, oh, God, to the security guard. You know, so this like big, beefy, monstrous dude. And he's like, yeah, let's go. So I'm like, here we go. So everybody goes outside. Just insanity ensues. Everybody's like fighting. I'm just standing there because they're like, we're cops. I'm like, I'm not going to hit a cop. You know? Like, I'm just
Jimmy's like, I'm
chill.
drunk. I'm not stupid. This ain't happening.
Yeah, well, guess who ended up in jail? Everybody except me. That's for sure.
There you go.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's my funny punchline at Mr. Small's story.
It's a good one. Quality.
Sorry. So sorry, BA, continue.
No, dude, so I'm gonna say any punchline show at Laga, like back when Paul was in.
Any and all of them. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Dude, they were killer. And Rob, you and Chuck and I used to listen to early punchline on the frickin' janitor scene.
Oh,
that was on Ode to the Janitors for sure.
Oh,
like Bingo
Yep.
and Rachel.
Yeah, Bingo
sure.
and Rachel, definitely.
This is back when Substandard was still a band almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was punchline pre-Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listening to like
Definitely.
Forgotten and the album that they did before that.
Yeah.
I still
They're like really, really little kids.
I still have a lot of that music thanks to your brother, Brian.
Yeah,
He
your brother
came through big time.
Dude,
one of my iPods.
he has it all. And my brother and I recently went to a Composure did a reunion show. This was just back in the winter.
Did you go to that?
Yeah, dude. It was.
Dude, I loved that band. I wish they would have kept making music. I thought the music was fucking awesome.
It's
It was
it's on
good.
my list here. We just saw it in. I took my wife, my brother. My brother wore a substandard shirt that he had from high school.
I saw that on Facebook. That's awesome.
Dude, it was so good, and I do love their music too, Rob. Like the Composure is just, they're so
They're
good.
Fucking fantastic, yeah. That Bend Before I Break is my fucking jam. I love that
It
goddamn
is
song.
great.
Um,
But I have a bunch here, but I think the top ones I've already hit, so I'm good on that.
Cool.
I remember one of those shows, one of those longest shows back in the day. It was so random. It was Newfound Glory, Anti-Flag,
Teen Idols.
and
Teen
Leslie
Idols.
Jake.
And
And
Teen
maybe
Idols.
Teen Idols, too.
That was me and
Yep.
you and those girls from Plum, Jimmy. that
Those
we
girls
went
from Plum.
That was in
Remember
eighth
that?
grade. Eighth grade, I think their parents took us.
No, we were in 10th grade. Our parents
10th
definitely took us. Yeah, because I wasn't allowed to get my license because I wasn't responsible.
Me, I was having seizures and shit.
Because I
Dude,
might have
I
had a
remember-
little bit of a drinking problem.
Maybe I was doing too much experimenting with drugs. They snuck cigarettes in their tampons for me. That was a gangster ass move. I was like, okay, ladies, I'll take them as long as they're not used.
That's right.
Sick.
It
All
was
right,
smart.
so,
Sick. Come on. Get from.
So you boys, Rob and Jimmy, recently NOFX has released some new music. I'm just gonna let you guys go because I don't want to rain on your parade or anything. But let me know when you need me back.
Oh, see, Chuck's gonna sit there and
Jimmy.
hate because he doesn't like NOFX because he's a little bitch.
I'll chime in on it, dude. I've listened to the new 4 songs a bunch of times.
Okay,
They're
good.
pretty good.
So listen, NOFX came out with these 4 songs. They have videos with them. They thought it'd be awesome. Everyone's at home. It'd be a really good time to put it all out for free. Charlie, I'm going to come through this video camera and punch you in your fucking cocksucker. I see you. And NOFX has been my favorite, probably top 3 bands since, Jimmy, when did we start listening to him? 7th grade?
I want to say 8th. I first actually remember seeing the name NOFX written on a snare drum at Riverview Senior High School, and I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then,
what does NOFX mean?
Yeah, and then I think it was actually Chuck Roca had a CD, and he was like, "Yeah, check him out." And I, of course, stole everything from Napster. You know, and I was hooked. Absolutely
He's actually
hooked.
the one who gave me. It was the "We Heard They Suck" live. I'll never forget. It was on like those. You remember the recordable cassettes that were like yellow and fucking pink or some shit, like the swirls on them.
Yeah, for sure.
It was one of those, and it was the "We Heard They Suck" live, and I think it was Punk and Drublick also was on it or something like that. And I fell in love with it, man.
You know what's so weird about Napster is, like, if you're looking at it from Metallica's perspective, okay, they're losing money on it. But if you look at it from, say, a NoFX perspective, or, you know, a mid-level like that, they're
getting exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's essentially the same way they look at Spotify and whatnot now. They get less than, like, they get a fraction of a cent when you listen to their songs. So, like,
yeah.
It really doesn't make much of a difference. But they basically, so they put these tracks out, and they're fucking fantastic. Like, it's everything you want. It's the acousticy kind of Cokie the Clown kind of feeling stuff. It's the faster punk stuff that I typically like more. It has the pissed off aspect of it, but it has a lot more feeling and meaning behind it. Like, I don't know what more you fucking want, Charlie. Is it not singing to your soul enough? It's not like, it's not going to make you want to lay in a lukewarm bathtub and just, you know, let the red flow. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Why don't you like NoFX? Is it Mike's voice? That's the one thing I've heard from a lot of people. They're like, "Oh,
he can't say that voice." Because one of his favorite bands is Coheed and Cambria, and that dude's voice is super high pitched and gets on most people's nerves.
It's not.
Claudia's badass.
It's not the voice.
He's amazing, and I love their music. So, but like, I put it on to other people, and they're like, "Is this like really fucked up? Is this like goddamn Rush on speed? What's happening?"
Listen, it's not the voice. I honestly, I don't mind the music. I don't.
So then what's left?
I don't mind his voice. I think that's all fine. I think of it as like a dirty punk rock Weird Al Yankovic.
I think I would take that as a compliment.
It's a parody. It's a parody of itself, which I believe is done purposely, but it just, I think it's stupid.
It's not a parody of itself. It's a parody of most situations, for sure.
Some of their tunes are parodies, but they do have some actually pretty fucking decent lyrics in some of their songs.
Most of their lyrics are decent if you actually look at the whole scope of the songs.
Yeah, dude, those Bush years, holy fuck, they put out some good shit.
Yeah, for sure. The War on Earth is one of my favorite albums of all.
My favorite NoFX album is definitely Pump Up the Volume. I just love that one.
It's a great album.
I like some of the dumb songs that are just funny and super punk rock, like
Dinosaurs Will Run the World or whatever it was called.
Yeah, and like like Louise, and then they had the one song My Vagina on there.
Yeah.
Like those are hilarious, and I like listening.
They're hilarious
to them.
and it's great music.
See, wait. Well, here's the thing, though. It is funny. All right, it is funny. But, like, it was funny, like, as a 15-year-old. It's not funny as a 35-year-old man.
I still listen.
You just skip those songs, though. I don't listen to My Vagina. I listen to, you know...
The Decline.
The Decline or some shit.
And that's a whole thing.
All right, I'll tell you one song that really made me chuckle. I was BA saw me today when he dropped off the beers. I was cutting the grass. First grass cut of the year. Went very well, thank you. So I've been listening to NoFX for the past week straight. And let me say this: I'm probably never going to listen to NoFX again because this was way too much. But one song that put a little chuckle on me was Creeping Out Sarah, where he's talking about Sarah and Tegan. He met Sarah at the one festival. It's very clever and very funny. I'll give him that song.
But dude, there's so many other really good songs like Linoleum, like any other song. There's anything off of Coasters, anything.
No.
Bruce, Eddie, and Paul.
No, there's not.
I don't know.
The entire So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes album, minus Flossing a Dead Horse.
By far, So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes is probably my favorite.
Time out.
War on airism.
Time out.
Let's time out.
I'm ready for the next beer.
Okay.
Our third our third and final beer of the evening from Allegheny River Brewery. I got a tag on here. It says "Cup of Joe New," which I think is hilarious, and it's an espresso stout.
Ooh, I love those.
So, Cup of Joe New is
and Joe did know, everybody.
For anyone that's not a sports fan, Joe Paterno, and people had they had the chant Joe Knew about like the child molesting and stuff going on. This is a coffee or espresso stout, depending on what we use, but people call those Cup of Joe coffee, so we called it Cup of Joe New. We thought it was funny.
That is hilarious.
And yeah,
it's really funny.
It didn't go over well with Penn State fans when we did like a beer festival, but
fuck them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they just got to get it through their heads that Joe did know.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knew that shit.
He knew
Dude,
that
Jesus
shit.
Christ, dude, this is fucking amazing. I could drink this in the morning.
So this is the beer that we actually entered into the TV show on Beerland. Was this one?
This is spectacular.
Was this the
Did you
one that
actually
was
call it-
on the final?
Yes.
All right. So let me ask you something. Thinking about what was the show called? Beerland. It was on Vice, right?
Yeah, it was Beerland.
Iceland, yeah.
All right. So watching that season finale, where you guys were in LA for the to see who was going to win. Why did this man start pouring beer on his hands?
So he was claiming that there was still unfermented sugar in it. So basically what happens is all the sugar that is in beer when you make it, it has to ferment for 2 weeks, and that sugar turns into alcohol. So basically the more sugar you have from the grain, the higher alcohol you're going to have. He was claiming some of it was not fermented out, which was not true. You take a reading of that when it's all done.
Like, that was the strangest thing I've ever seen. Like,
it was weird.
He's in there tasting all these beers from all these great home brewers, and then he gets to your beer and he starts pouring it on his fingers and going, "Oh, it's sticky, it's sticky." I'm like, "What? Like, this guy's pouring beer on the ground. Like, what is going on here? Like, these are my boys, and he's dumping their beer out."
Disrespect.
Don't make me cut a bitch.
Yeah. LA's not that far. I'm gonna break his knees.
Anyways, the coffee flavor here is quite
phenomenal,
quite strong, and quite delicious.
It is.
Thank you.
It is.
That's what I was going for.
I'm a big coffee guy. I drink my coffee black, and this is really good, BA.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
it is, dude. This is phenomenal shit.
I mean, you should have entered the saison, but this is really good.
Thanks, dude.
How'd you even get into that in the first place? Did you guys enter your beer, or like
we had to? We didn't even have to enter our beer. They there were a bunch. There was a newsletter that came out. We saw it that said they were looking for home brewers in Pittsburgh to do the show, and we applied. We had to do 2 Skype interviews, and they ended up picking us. And they picked 2 other people from Pittsburgh, and then they decided where they wanted to film it. I had to send pictures of my backyard and shit, and then we filmed a couple of the scenes here. We did a couple at the bowling alley in Lawrenceville, whatever. I forget what it's called.
Lanes.
Yeah, at Arsenal. And yeah, in the end, they ended up picking ours, and it was sick. We got to go to LA and film for like 3 days. It was open bar, all the food you wanted to eat.
Oh man,
awesome,
dude.
They
John,
pay
and
for
Paul.
your flights and everything too.
Oh yeah, they paid for everything. We got our
Wow.
own. Me, John, and Paul each got our own rooms.
Wow,
Fuck,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
what an experience though.
it was awesome.
That is so cool.
It was sick.
So, do you guys ever enter anything else or consider it?
Yeah,
Like
we do.
competitions.
Oh yeah, we do. We do a bunch of competitions, and we usually win for our IPAs. Actually, we've won a
I could see
bunch
that.
of comps. We've won a bunch for our IPAs, but we've won for our stouts too.
What's your
is
favorite?
What we're drinking now. I like to brew IPAs, but I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of stouts also.
Yeah, this.
I do like a stout. This is good.
Brandon, I say this in all seriousness. This is one of the best stouts I have ever had.
Yeah, dude.
Good,
this is pretty
man. I'm
fucking
glad.
Like that is delicious. I
And-
don't even know what to say. Fuck the
for-
descriptors. This is awesome.
For all
Thanks,
you viewers out there, I'm drinking this out of my Guinness cup, so
Good job, Jim.
it's making it proud for sure.
And it's
Hell
it's,
yeah.
it's so dark.
It is. It's so legit.
But it doesn't like. It seems maybe because I've had a few already, but it seems like it doesn't. It's not sitting like as heavy as another stout would either. It
No,
seems a
it's
little
not.
lighter.
Dude, I'm crushing this beer, and I can't really do that with stouts.
But it's
And again,
happening.
I've already had two, but you're right. It's going down right now.
My goodness, that's good. All right.
So I use commonplace espresso or coffee. I've made this with coffee and espresso, but I use commonplace which is a Pittsburgh roast place. I always use local roast and I cold brew the roast and add it to the stout whenever I keg it. So it's super fresh. Everything's fresh and just makes it that much better, man.
That's awesome. Hey, next time you guys have a brew day after all this quarantine shit is over, I'm coming over, Jimmy's coming over, and we'll Skype Rob.
Oh, guys, I'm not kidding. Brew days are awesome. I have 5 taps right here in my basement, right next to me. Like all beers are on tap. We just brew and drink, and sometimes I forget to add something to the recipe, and I'm really anal about that. But we have a good time.
That's awesome. That's so fucking cool.
Plus, it's my house, so I get to pick the music, and the other John and Paul are not into pop punk. I am, but I get to pick, so I play it.
I don't even want to know what those two listen to. Bless their hearts.
John looks like a country guy. Does John like country?
No, Paul likes country.
Paul likes country.
John's more of a what the fuck? He's like a 90s like pop rock.
All right. Like
That's respectable.
Third Eye
So,
Blind,
yeah,
Matchbox
yeah,
20.
Third Eye Blind. He loves Matchbox.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's not
does,
bad.
man.
That's not bad music.
No. I mean, if he had Creed posters hanging up, that'd be questionable.
Story.
But yeah, as for like modern day country, I think we all know how we feel about that.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
All right,
I live in Texas. There's no escaping it.
let's get back on track here. What else you guys want to say about NOFX? Where were we?
Well, first of all, we need to talk about the fact that they just released within the last week the Decline again with the a full symphony behind them.
And it was
I listened to it.
phenomenal.
Woo!
Live at Red
Phenomenal.
I
Live
did
at Red
not
Rock.
hear that.
Yeah,
Oh,
BA,
BA,
check
I'll send it to you, buddy.
out.
It's so damn good. All right, just
Yeah.
Google it. It's fucking fantastic.
And that's the thing. You can't name any punk band or even any other punk or pop punk band that has ever played with an orchestra before. And
Yeah.
these guys pull it off, and they pull it off well.
18 minutes straight. Actually, 18 plus.
I think it's like 1850 of just like kick you in the fucking face, punk rock with a little class because they got the orchestra behind them. You know what I mean?
Classy.
A lot more than that medley going on in the background.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to get real classy, you
It
can
wasn't
check it out.
it wasn't a bad listen.
Well, on YouTube, they actually have the dude that did the orchestra. he did it with just the orchestra too, a couple of years ago, and that's really cool to see. Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever checked that out, Rob, but
I saw the Lord of the Rings symphony once.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
It was awesome. Billy Boyd was there. He plays Pippin in the movies.
Oh.
All right, carry on.
The last time I was down there, I saw like the Book of Mormon, and that was hilarious.
Oh, it was so fucking good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Although there's a lot of Mormons in Texas, and now that I see it from that perspective, I just like chuckle in my head about it.
You're like dum da dum dum dum.
Dum da dum dum.
Little South Park throw there.
Hell yeah. For all our listeners out there, I would highly recommend seeing the Book of Mormon if you haven't.
It's fantastic. All the way around, like musically, entertainment, like the fucking comedy is obvious. It's going to be fantastic.
I saw it with like a bunch of season ticket holders in front of me, and they were like 60, 70-year-old white people, and I'm like, oh, these people don't even know what they're getting themselves into.
That's funny.
It was great to see their reactions. They were. I think they didn't come back after intermission. Let's put it that way.
There's a few empty seats.
Anyways, so, guys, I think NOFX is immature, and I think they lack substance.
They're definitely immature. They have some substance, though. If you do look at their music,
I think they want to have substance, but they really don't. I think
they don't.
I think they think they're smarter than they are, and
I think you should
after this past week of listening to NOFX every day, I went through and listened to every fucking album. I am never going to listen to them again.
I think you should do yourself a favor and read or listen to the Hepatitis Bathtub, which is a biography on them. Perspective.
NOFX was like one of the few things that got me through those fucking Bush years. Okay.
Yeah. If you knew a little bit more, you'd shut the fuck up. But I will give you props because you know good and hell well I would have never listened to that much of anything that you suggested that I didn't like. So
I mean,
I give you props.
You don't even listen to the stuff that you do like.
At some point, we just have to recognize that we just have a slightly different taste of music, and there's nothing wrong with
absolutely.
that.
But it doesn't make you wrong necessarily, Charlie. You're just wrong.
And it doesn't make you right necessarily. You're just not right.
At some point, I think Chuck is just a little more emo, and we're just a little more hardcore. That's all.
I can't argue that.
I think that's fair.
Can I ask you guys, of those 4 new ones, you might not know the names of them, but
Doors and Fours.
Dude, I have it at the top of my list. Doors and Fours was number 1.
Doors and Fours. Everything I just said, I take it back. That song is really good, and that song.
Is that the second song?
It has a lot of substance.
Saying they have some.
I felt it. That was a punk rock emo song there. I felt it.
I like that one, dude.
Dude, NOFX. Fat Mike wrote a really sad song. It's called "My Orphan Year." It's about losing both of his parents in the same year. He has some deep shit that's out there.
But as for the other ones, PRBOD, I did not like. The Acoustic Flu one I did not like, and whatever the other one was, I did not like.
I Love You More Than I Hate Me was the other one.
Oh, that was my least favorite.
Dude, that was the best
one. You fucked me with a bag over my head. Get the what the? You are in your 50s, and these are the lyrics you're putting out.
You got to understand, Fat Mike is one of those guys who's in the S&M. I don't get it.
I don't care. I don't like him.
He's not writing this song necessarily for you, then, I guess, Charlie. If it bothers you that much, fuck off.
Doors and Fours was a really good song, though.
It's a fantastic song, and they have plenty of other ones in their in their discography that has that good of songs on it.
It's just weird because Chuck likes AFI. I don't understand how you could like AFI but not like NOFX.
Why?
They're not that. I mean, yeah, they're far apart, kind of, but not that really. It's still kind of the same genre. They're way more hardcore than.
Yeah, but they're far more emo
or something. You know, I guess they are a little.
Far more
AFI's definitely far more emo than NOFX.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, flipping the hair and shit.
Flipping the hair, sucking the dicks.
Sucking the dick.
Well, how about I know Rob knows this, but Davey Havoc did a super band with the members of No Doubt minus Gwen Stefani.
Yes.
Dream Car. It was kind of like an 80s pop rock vibe.
Very 80s.
It was
I
super
listened to
cool.
it, dude.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
What's it called?
Dream Car.
Dream Car.
Dream Car. I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's very, very 80s-ish, but it's super fucking good.
It's Davey Havoc with the members of No Doubt minus Gwen Stefani.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of fucking time on their hands since they're not doing
plenty.
shit. You know,
dude, I listened to the one podcast when you guys were talking about AFI for a while, and I was like, I wanted to jump in and say stuff. I was like, oh, because I'm a big AFI fan too. And
can you continue past Sing the Sorrow?
Black Sails.
Black Sails is my favorite, so I agreed with you guys on that for sure. But I actually like, Sing the Sorrow was their last like
great
super
album.
Great one, but December Underground, I enjoy.
Ooh, little controversy.
Statement, but I'll give you.
So songs like I think it's called like Killing Time or Killing Lights. There's a lot of good ones on there, man. And The Interview, I think that's on that one.
Great movie.
Great movie. Dude, I'm telling you, give that one one more shot.
I will go back and check it out because I haven't listened to it in 15 years. I'll definitely check it out.
Did you guys know that AFI put out new music within the past 5 or 6 years? And
I've listened to it.
I've listened
pretty
good.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything.
And
I can't say I'm a big fan of it, but I've listened to it, and I actually bought the album before I got Spotify. But
wow, hard copy, way to go!
Give December Underground a shot and listen to it. Not the hits, not like the two that made the radio, but the other ones. They're good, man.
Yeah, I do like AFI.
I'll put it on my list.
Do they still tour?
I don't know. That's a band I really would love to see, honestly.
I haven't seen them since, oh my God, I couldn't even tell you.
I saw him at a Warped Tour when we were really, really young, when he walked out onto the crowd and shit. That was cool as fuck.
Yeah, that was badass.
I never got to see him, and I wish I could have, but...
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, didn't you come to any of those Warped Tours back in the day? I swear to God.
I never went to a Warped Tour, man. I missed out.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's really surprising.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
I honestly go to a lot of shows now. I went to a lot of shows then, but I never went to like the festival type shows like Warped Tour.
I actually fucking I liked Warped Tour because I liked seeing all of that many good bands at once, but it fell off so fast after we got out of high school that like I think I went 2 times, maybe 3, and it was always so fucking hot and miserable.
Well, it is hot and miserable, but I did make it.
Hot.
I think I was like 7 or 8 years in a row before I finally was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, I never did that many in a row. I think my first one was 2002. And then I probably did 03 and 04, and then maybe like 06 or 07 after that. That's probably about it, though.
Dude, try doing 2004 down in Tampa Bay in the middle of summer. All fucking day.
All the way.
Miserable.
That shit.
I almost passed out a couple times. People are like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like,
I remember
Not
almost
sure.
passing out.
Good times though. Otherwise,
Yeah, right.
So,
Rob,
BA,
What?
you're really missing out on this beer. Sorry.
Fuck you.
this stout is. I know I already said it, but it's it's unbelievably good.
Thanks, dude.
It is.
Wow.
Hey, I'm right down the street. I can hook you up anytime.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be my
You
go-to.
should not have told me.
Like every
Do you
day.
have Venmo? Like, what's up?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to start paying.
You do contactless delivery and just put it on my front porch, like all the way down here. Though.
Yeah, it's Corona, dude. Come on.
So what is BA? What is your favorite beer that you guys have brewed yourselves? What's your favorite one that you've done?
So I like the IPAs and the stouts. Those are my tops. But any hazy IPA, like this Lap Hog, we've made a couple of, like with different hop variations, and the hops are like what give it the citrus taste, and grapefruit or whatever citrus fruit you might want to pick out, like orange. So I changed the hops around on that. That's probably my favorite we've made. Chuck, I just saw you chug the shit out of
that. He did too.
But I mean, we don't make a lot. We've only had like one or two that I didn't like, and we've made a lot of beers. But I like the IPAs, like the hazy IPAs.
What about the other guys?
They're IPA fans too. I like the almost 8% ones like we had tonight, but John's always like, oh, let's brew like a session beer, which is like a beer you can drink a lot of, which is like 4 or 5%. But we're like,
yeah.
We're like, we go, fuck that. We're making it.
Yeah,
big.
I'm with you there. Like, yeah, they taste good and they're easy to drink, but I'd rather drink 2 or 3, heavy ABVs and be good to go for the night.
Right.
He came to party, dude.
That's right, man.
Which is basically what I just did, and now I'm good.
Yeah.
So this might be wildly off topic, but what's up with Bagley these days?
So he, all right, this is interesting.
Wasn't he a Navy SEAL? First of all, can we get to the top of that?
So he was a Marine. He went to the Naval Academy. He went to the Naval Academy. He did like time in Afghanistan where he was like the leader of a bunch of dudes. He did, I think 2 or 3 tours in Afghanistan, like in the shit. Like
he is
really
so badass.
Dude,
yeah, I know.
Everyone's like, all our wives are like, oh, he's definitely on roids, but he's not. He's just jacked.
I know. Yeah, he's always been that way, just like a warrior, straight up.
And he also has an engineering degree from the Naval Academy, so he doesn't use it. He has a realtor's license. He right now is back in Pittsburgh flipping houses. He's flipped like 5 houses in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
And he's doing another one here. So he's living in Pittsburgh right now, even though he resides in California. But we've been we were hanging out a lot before the freaking coronavirus came.
Fucked everything up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like high school all over again, because it's like me and Andrew and the guys I brew with, John and Paul.
Right.
Hey, if he ever needs an electrician, I'm off of work right now, so
I'll let him know, dude.
Dude, honestly, it's always been B.A., Bagley, and Beakley. And I know Paul joined the crew, but going back to like fucking first or second grade, it's always been those 3.
Yeah,
I know, man.
Absolutely.
For sure. We
That's
stayed tight.
I always liked Bagley. He was a good dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Where did he go to school? He ended up going to did he go to like Kiski or some shit, or Catholic or some shit?
He went to Central Catholic.
Okay.
And what's
there right now?
What's funny is all his brothers. He has 2 brothers and a sister. They were brought up super religious, and all three brothers now are all atheists. And so
Wow.
And it's just awesome how that happens and funny.
Dude, you know what? The same thing with me. My dad's super religious. Oh boy, we get into it sometimes.
Well, I mean, this is a whole other like show and topic, but like that, it's interesting because like if that stuff is like pounded into you like too much, that happens.
Yeah. Like pastors' kids and shit, like typically wow the fuck out when they go to college and shit because their whole life they're suppressed like crazy.
Big time, man.
This is why everybody should have their own version of a Rumspringa.
Rumspringa?
For real. Yeah,
So,
I do too.
Andrew wouldn't mind me telling this story because he tells it all the time. It's funny. Like he would his mom would like say, okay, go to church. And he was in high school, Catholic church. She'd send him to St. Ives, and he would go down there, and he would go with Paul because Paul was Catholic too and went to St. Ives. And their parents would give them like money to put in the basket around, and they would go down to the Oakmont Bakery, skip church, and spend the money at the bakery.
He takes the time.
That's like some Bart Simpson shit there.
I love it. I love it, dude. That's awesome. Dude, I had no idea.
Decades, but I fucking love him even more now.
I honestly had no idea that his family was that religious, to be honest with you. Kitty Bagley, all about Jesus, huh?
I mean,
I think it's cool. So is my dad. I mean, I'm not going to talk shit. I mean, you're into what you're into.
Right.
I mean, should we even get into this? I grew up Catholic. And like by the time I got to college age, like I started thinking like there's something wrong with this Catholic church. It turns out there really is something wrong with the Catholic Church. No matter how you want to take that, whether it be touching and fucking the little boys, or the whole they have more money than anybody in the world. That's beside the point. But yeah, I started kind of interpreting things on my own. Yeah, we can.
Oh.
Got a hot stream coming in. All right.
A lot of beer going through.
All right, I'm gonna nix the religious talk.
Okay, let's
nix it. What's your favorite beer brewed by anybody else?
Oh man.
I mean, like top three. Give me a top three.
All right, I'm a local person, like local supporter. I like the local breweries around here.
Sure.
My favorite brewery is Dancing Gnome, which is in Sharpsburg.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Love their stuff and their IPAs. So, man, any of their like IPAs or double IPAs, I'm all about. So that's what I usually go for. I've been buying plenty of that over the lockdown here for the coronavirus. They have an awesome pickup system. I order online. I go up. Those guys all know me, so I just literally walk up. They have the beer ready and just hand it to you. And
nice.
Done.
Amazing.
You try You try Inner Groove yet? How are they?
Yeah, I've been to them. They're like middle of the road. They're decent. But if I'm gonna pay the same amount, Dancing Gnome's way better. So nice. I'll go to them.
What's that one in Millvale?
Grist House.
Grist House, yeah, that one's pretty good too.
Yeah, they're decent for sure. And in the summer, like when you can go hang out, like there's
bring your dog and shit. Yeah, that's awesome.
You can bring your dog. There's tons of people there. If you're a single dude, there's plenty of good-looking ladies.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there are.
Sorry, I've been drinking.
But yes. The breweries are a cool place to hang out. I mean, there's a wide span of people, like from young to old, and dudes and chicks.
I haven't hung out at a lot of breweries. Like, I know I should, but it's just like I don't know. My wife doesn't drink a whole lot, so it's kind of my own thing.
There's
But
a really bad down here that I've been meaning to go to. It's called Panther Island. It's actually in downtown Fort Worth.
Sounds
and
sexy.
They have the same kind of thing where, like, on the weekends or whatever, when it's nice out, they'll open the doors and people can come down and buy beer and whatnot. And then, like, actually the school that I used to do jiu-jitsu at, they actually would have classes and shit there. They would bring mats and put them down and have you'd roll and then you'd have a couple beers and then
that's
obviously
awesome.
not vice versa because everyone would be throwing up on everybody. But
that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, cool to watch as a spectator, not necessarily the one getting vomited on. But I still have yet to check that shit out.
I'm gonna give one more thing about Dancing Gnome that I like. The head brewer and the owner is a big like pop punk fan. So like,
really?
He collaborates with a bunch of punk rock bands.
Didn't he do one with Punchline?
Yeah, they did a Punchline. Yeah, that's right.
They did.
That's cool.
That's fucking awesome.
They've had like bands come in and play like small shows back in their brewery area. But they've done a ton of beers and collaborations with like awesome punk rock bands and a lot of like new age punk rock bands because the old ones are not coming into a tap house.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
They're playing stage AE and shit.
Right. And I'm like, honestly, they've introduced me to a couple new bands that I really like just from that brewery because he's done little collaborations with them and I didn't even know about them before. And now I listen to them.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm always dying for new music.
Yeah.
Regardless of how old I get.
One of the things that sucks about living way down here is I don't get to talk about it much. Everybody listens to fucking really bad rap or really bad country.
Or really bad NOFX.
Whoa. Calm down, dude.
All right, so BA, I'll give you a top 3 of my beers. My number 1 go-to is Southern Tier 2X.
Okay.
My number 2 go-tier, which is seasonal, is Fathead's Bonehead Double Red IPA. And my number 3 now is Cup of Joe New Espresso Stout.
Oh, damn.
Well done. Good job.
I drank that beer faster than any other beer I've drank in a while.
It was really good.
It was really good.
I did not. But the next time I'm in Pittsburgh, I'm definitely calling you.
Oh, for sure, man.
And whatever, Chuck, what's your favorite like local man union beer?
My go-to union beer?
Hams.
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 Hams. I can get down with that.
Yes, dude, $6 for a 12-pack. One of the oldest breweries in the country, and it's union made, which I'm a union worker, so I highly support that. That and Irons. Icy Light. I drink Icy Light all the time.
Awesome.
BA, if you were gonna drink a regular beer, what would it be? Like not a craft brew, like a regular ass normal beer.
A regular ass normal beer.
Like a lager.
Yeah.
Or a Pilsner.
Like a Yingling or.
I love a good Pilsner or a good lager. But damn. I mean, I've been at shows and drank Icy Light plenty of times, and if I'm gonna drink a whole bunch or have a couple and want to be able to be okay and still enjoy myself, I'll drink a light beer. So Icy Light, I'm gonna support that for sure.
Amen.
There we go.
What's your opinion on Yingling? Where do they stand?
I like Yingling. I'll drink Yingling for sure.
Yeah. Me and Jimmy talked about this before. I also. Yingling is delicious. I can't argue that, but they are strictly anti-union, so therefore I cannot support it. But that's a whole different story. But they make a good beer nonetheless.
So then you just drink Lion's Head instead?
Lion's Head is good. It's
Irons.
cheap.
Just drink Irons, man, or Hams.
Yeah, but I mean, Lion's Head, they give you the puzzles, man.
The puzzles are good.
That's true.
It's a nice touch.
All right, boys. I think we're gonna wrap it up, unless anybody else has anything to say.
No.
I'm gonna say one thing. When you guys want to talk about some new age pop punk music, I'd be happy to join in again because I got a bunch that I like to listen to.
We would,
dude,
we would
Send
gladly
us a
have you
list.
back, BA.
We'll revisit.
Dude,
Yeah.
I have a good list.
Yeah, send us a list. I would
Shit.
love to listen
What
to the
the
new
fuck,
music.
dude?
Absolutely.
I'm dying for it.
The heavier, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got some heavy ones for you.
Let me know. Fire it, Facebook, whatever.
All right,
All right,
everybody. Be sure to check us out. Get us wherever your podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, iTunes, whatever you want to call it. Leave us a little rating and review on there. BA, go ahead and leave us a little review on there. Or a rating, at least. 5 stars, right?
For sure.
Definitely. Or you can find us on Spotify, Stitcher, or Libsyn, and soon to be iHeartRadio. Also, check out, we have a playlist that I have curated for Spotify. So you can find that if you just look up songs that find us well. Check out our socials on Facebook and Twitter. We have a Facebook page, and we also have a Facebook group called The Found Wellers. Check out all of our podcast friends. You know them by now. A Fireside Chat with Ryan McCormick, McSauce with Ian, Paul, and Matt. Case in Point with Justin Case. Element of Surprise, and the Working Stiffs, who gave us a shout out on their last episode. So we appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, dudes.
Thanks,
Anybody else?
Everyone.
Anybody else have any closing statements?
No, just thanks for joining us, BA. It's been great.
Yeah,
I'm
buddy.
looking
It was
forward-
awesome. to see you
Yeah,
guys.
this was awesome. Your beers are delicious. Keep up
Great
the good
time.
work.
Thanks, guys.
Whenever all this shit is over, let us know when the next brew day is. Me and Jimmy will definitely
For
stop
sure,
by.
man.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Give
As
Brian
for
a
that-
shout out from us.
Will do.
Yeah,
You guys better be here next brew day.
tell John
right, we're in.
and tell John and Paul we said what's up.
Yeah,
Will
yeah,
do,
for
man.
sure.
Other than that, I'm Chuck.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Jimmy.
I'm BA.
All right, BA. And we hope this finds you well. See ya.
Later.
What makes a man? Is it the power in his hands? Is it his quest for glory? Give it all you got to fight to the top, so we can know your story. Now you're a man, man. Now you're a man, man. You are now a man. You're a man. Now you're a man. Live it. What makes a man? Is it the woman in his arms? Just 'cause she has big titties? Or is it the way he fights every day? No, it's probably the titties.